Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, here to preview Week 4 Tennessee Titans against the Indianapolis Colts. And people, this is already a very critical matchup when it pertains to the AFC South. The Titans find themselves 1-2. The Colts find themselves 1-1, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are now the cute darling of the AFC South. Everyone's hopping on the bandwagon. Everyone is ready to proclaim that the Jaguars are here, that they can win the division. Trevor Lawrence has arrived, yada, 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 yada. Now we're going to deal with the Jaguars later, not in this video. I want to see more. I just want to see more data. Look, I'm very impressed by Trevon Walker. I'm very impressed by their also other first-round pick, the linebacker. I can't remember his name right now. Josh Allen has definitely come on. He's really arriving and stuff like that. We're going to worry about the Jaguars. But for this video, it's the Colts. The Indianapolis Colts, a team that, I honestly really believe, and it kind of fluctuates, but I think for the totality of the true Tennessee Titans timeline, not the Oilers, the Titans timeline, I think is the most hated team for this fan base. The Texans are close because, there's always the history with, Tennessee and Houston and Bud Adams, yada, yada, yada. But I really think the Colts have been the true rival of this team. And I will always have to remind you guys, I don't like going to Lucas Oil Stadium. We can win there. We have won there. We won there last year. However, historically speaking, I don't like going to Lucas Oil Stadium. It's a bad stadium for us. It just is. Now, with that said, there are things that I like in terms of this matchup, and there's one main point that I love in terms of this matchup. But before we get into that, let's look at the injury report, which is no good for us. Again, hello. This just continues to be our look over the last, 2.5 seasons? But whatever, we're going to continue to deal with it. Let's look at the injury report. Tennessee Titans injury report. Zach Cunningham out. Now, he hasn't been playing, great, but he's been all right in terms of playing an inside linebacker position for us. Amani Hooker out with a concussion. Woo! Now that hurts because he has been playing well for us, and his presence has definitely been felt. Ola Adeni finds himself questionable. Okay, we'll see what happens there. We can definitely use him because our pass rush is limited. Ugo Amadi, don't really care much. That's just a replaceable linebacker. Anyway, outside of that, Cody Hollister, we'll see. No offense to Cody Hollister. I do like Cody Hollister more than your boy Mason Kinsey, but, it won't be missed that much. And then Roger McCreary with a back, questionable. I'm not worried about it because it's something that just showed up later in the injury report. But if he's out, then we're really hurting. And he really didn't play that well last week. Actually, when I turned on the tape, he actually kind of struggled, but he's still one of our better corners, and we definitely need him. Looking at the Indianapolis Colts injury report now, this is what we need. And no offense, but I'm always going to root for players to sometimes be out when you're facing my team. Not that I don't want you to get money. You still get paid anyway if you're out for one game. But DeForest Buckner, if you wouldn't mind, just, showing up on Sunday being like, you know what, guys, my elbow is just a little hurt. I don't know if I can go today. I'm going to just sit this one. I would appreciate it, DeForest. I would appreciate it, dog. So I wouldn't mind if DeForest Buckner decides to wake up and do that. Julian Blackmon is out with an ankle injury. It's not a big deal. And then outside of that, nothing. I mean, Shaquille Leonard. Now, that's a big deal because he hasn't played this season yet, and he's their best linebacker and one of the best linebackers in the league. This is the former Darius Leonard that is now going by Shaquille Leonard. If he plays, it's a problem. Will he play? I don't know. I don't know. It's a question right now we're going to see when it comes to Shaquille Leonard. So with that said, let's get into the Colts team and this matchup. The Colts have a decent roster, guys. And I'm just being straight up honest with you. Michael Pittman Jr. is a better wide receiver than any wide receiver that we have on this roster. Alec Pierce, who is their rookie wide receiver second round, he is showing signs. Jonathan Taylor, and look, the whole offseason Twitter thing, people debating Derrick Henry versus Jonathan Taylor. Look, I get the fanhood. I do. I don't care who has the best running back in the league, guys. I don't. We can claim it. Okay, we can. Am I the only one that's trying to win a Super Bowl? I don't care if you have the best running back, no running back. I've seen teams, the Chiefs won, but who's a running back when they won the Super Bowl? Who? I don't care if you have the best running back. I mean, it's great. It's not that I'm not going to come on here and be happy about it. I don't care. But you have to be honest. Jonathan Taylor is a beast. He's a problem. And then this year, our run defense has been a problem. Saquon Barkley kind of went off. Luckily, the Raiders don't run the ball nearly as much as they should, so we didn't have to worry about Josh Jacobs. But if they would have been a problem. If you look at week 2, it didn't really matter because the Bills' passing offense was just so dominant against us anyways, and the Bills can't run the football, so that's irrelevant. My problem is Jonathan Taylor is going to run the ball at us in his own stadium, and that hurts, man. And no Zach Cunningham in the middle. Now, we're going to need a big performance from Big Jeff Simmons, who always provides a great performance. That is Mr. Reliable. He's the boy in your heart, the boy in your mind. Jeffrey Simmons, our boy. And I expect nothing less from him. Now, let's get to our tighten up keys to the game because it's going to clue you in more in terms of where I'm going in terms of this game. Let's look at number 1. You have to put pressure on Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is the key to this entire game. I think he's literally the key. If Matt Ryan is decent at all, I think we're cooked. To be honest with you, I think Jonathan Taylor's going to do enough. I think their defense is going to slow us enough and we'll lose the game. But Matt Ryan stinks. And this was my point coming into the season. This is why when people were picking the Colts to go to the Super Bowl, win the AFC South, yada, 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 people were talking about, I said, wait a minute. Y'all do realize that the Atlanta Falcons, a team that is, I don't even know if they're, I guess they're rebuilding, I guess. Is it a rebuild? What's going on? I don't know what it is. I literally have no idea what's going on in Atlanta. I guess you can call it a rebuild, but they're literally the Titans South. They're literally the Titans in 2018. I watched their tape. I'm seeing Rashaan Evans playing and playing decently well. I'm like, what the hell? Is this 2018? What the hell is this? They have Bo Brinkley, for God's sake. They're Titans South. I don't know what that is. But whatever it is, they said, you know what? Let's do this and let's get you out of here. Bye, shoo-shoo, 3rd round pick. Bye. We're good. Yes, you're a Falcons legend. Yes, probably one day he's going to have his number retired for the franchise. Probably. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. We'll see on that. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. But he's definitely going to be one of the Falcons Hall of Famers. He's definitely going to have his number retired. Shoo-shoo. Get out of here. We're done. We're out. Let's get Marcus Mariota. My boy. But let's get him. Because he is better for us than Matthew Ryan. That's how we feel about this circumstance, the situation. Unbelievable. What a decision that was. Okay, that decision was made for a reason. Matt Ryan stinks. He's done. He's cooked. You got to put pressure on. Rashad Weaver. Bud Dupree. That is Bud Dupree. He's going to have to show that aggressiveness that you showed in that Walgreens, dog. No, I'm kidding. Oh, okay, that was a little. But no, I want to see more from Bud Dupree, man. This guy was signed to an extensive contract. What was it, 5 years, $85 million, something crazy. He's not living up to that contract. As of this is now nearing a year and a half. I have not seen that Bud Dupree. He's gotten pressures. He's allowed Janico Autry to do more. He's allowed Harold Landry to do more when he was in the lineup. He's allowed Jeffrey Simmons to do more. I need Bud Dupree himself to have a true definitive. What's the Bud Dupree game in a Titans uniform? Have you had a Bud Dupree game where we're like, wow, Bud Dupree really won us that football game? When you're getting paid $17 million a year, you have to have that sort of football game from time to time. I'm not saying every week, but you have to have it from time to time. You're getting paid for that. Bud Dupree has to show up in this game, put pressure on Matt Ryan. Rashad Weaver, man, this guy's playing well. He's getting sacks. Now, his Pro Football Focus grade isn't great because he's on the field for like literally every single passing play. So if you don't get enough pressures for Pro Football Focus and their algorithm, you're not going to perform well in terms of the grades. In terms of my opinion, he's playing well. And I'm just happy that he's on the field. He's getting pressures, getting sacks, getting more confidence. He's not a stud, but he's getting better. Okay, he's getting better. I just want him on the field doing well, and that's what he's doing. Got to get pressure on Matt Ryan. Got to be creative how we do it. Got to bring Kevin Byard down. Got to bring different safeties down. No Amani Hooker, which again sucks. Damn, I wish you had Amani Hooker for this game because he'd be very valuable when it comes to that. Keep the pressure on him. This Colts offensive line, well, let's tell us Quentin Nelson, well, let's tell us some decent pieces, struggling a little bit earlier this season. This whole offense not scoring points. They got a big old goose egg against the Jacksonville Jaguars, for God's sake. Against the Jaguars defense is improved with Travon Walker. It ain't that damn improved. It just have a damn goose egg against them week 2. That's absurd. Their offense is struggling. Okay, even with Jonathan Taylor, who again I'm very afraid of, especially at Lucas Oil Stadium. I don't trust Lucas Oil Stadium, but you gotta put pressure on Matt Ryan. It's just so essential for this game. He's the key to the entire game. Really, I have 2 other keys, but it's literally all I matter. If Matt Ryan is decent, we're in trouble. But number 2, protect Tannehill. Look, I have enough faith in this passing offense. Again, I don't trust any of these wide receivers. You know, you guys that are in fantasy football leagues, if you're in any sort of league that has 12 or less players, there's no reason to have a Tennessee Titans wide receiver, in my opinion. And that includes Robert Woods. If you're in 14 plus, then fine. Pick up Robert Woods, fine. Pick up Treylon Burks. If you're in 14 plus, 12, I wouldn't do it. Even 12, I wouldn't pick up Robert Woods. I just wouldn't. Even in PPR, I wouldn't. But that's on you. If you want to do that, that's fine. But my thing is this. If you protect him, he's going to find open wide receivers more likely than not. Nicholas Petit-Frere, when I turned on the tape last week, was struggling a little bit, not too much. But something I want to look out for, he's a rookie. Just want him to be, at least he's out there. Dylan Radins isn't even out there. He's not going to be out there. So unless injuries, take over this team. So at least he's out there doing the best he can do. Nate Davis is still performing well. Ben Jones is still Ben Jones. Dennis Daly at left tackle. Pretty, mediocre. I'm not seeing anything particularly impressive nor poor yet. Damn, it's so frustrating that we have these injuries. And I don't even like Taylor Lewan. As you guys know, I've been talking trash. Not hella trash. He's out there looking for me. No, I'm kidding. Maybe not. But no, he's not been total trash. However, yeah, we're going to have conversations in the offseason about what we're going to do at left tackle because that's going to be a very interesting conversation as he is now officially ruled out for the year. But Dennis Daly to me looks fine. Roster-wise, again, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. Outside of quarterback, the Colts have a better roster, and they're at home. Everything in my body says that I should really pick the Colts to win this game. Everything objective in my body is telling me that I should pick the Colts to win this game. And to anyone that's not a fan of this football team, I'm telling you to pick the Colts to win this game. However, there are 2 things that I really believe in why I'm going to pick, ultimately, the Titans to win this game. One is, again, Matt Ryan really, 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 really stinks. And then 2, I feel like this team, and I know the personality of this team decently well at this point, especially this particular iteration under Mike Vrabel. They understand the obligation that is required to beat the Colts. The Mike Munchak era didn't. The Ken Wisenhunt era didn't. The Jeff Fisher era kind of did, but sometimes didn't. It depended on the year, but most years not really. This team under Mike Vrabel lately understands the task of going to Indianapolis, what it means, our history of screwing up there, and how to get it done. That's what I think. That's what I hope. So I'm going to pick the Titans here 23-19. But I'm warning you, this is not going to be well, it definitely could be because, again, Matt Ryan stinks so bad it could definitely be another 24-0 like they had against the Jaguars. But, dude, they lost to the Jaguars 24-0. They were down most of the game against the Texans. Last week, they beat the Chiefs. Very impressive. The Chiefs didn't show up. I think we're going to show up. I think with the momentum that we gained last week against the Las Vegas Raiders will carry into this game and we'll win this game. And I normally don't do this. I don't care what happens in this game in terms of, well, okay, injuries. And then if we look really bad in certain areas, it might change my prediction. No matter what, I still have us winning next week against the Commanders. And I have us winning the week. After that's a bye week. And then the week after that, we'll see if we lose against the Colts, we're going to be the Colts the next time around. If we don't, then the season's done and that's just, okay, well, then we're just going to throw up our papers. We're going to go Ken Dorsey. We're going to just slam stuff and say, all right, mock drafts, right? This is the critical point. You have Colts, you have Commanders, you have Colts. You got to be 2-1. If you're not 2-1, if you're 1-2 in that stretch here, well, guess what? You're 2-4. The season is still alive, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care anymore. We're not going to, we already know we're not going to win the Super Bowl, but we're definitely not going to win the Super Bowl. We still might win the AFC South, but it's going to be a weak AFC South, and I don't care. And I'll care enough to still watch, but the fan base won't care, and it's going to be apathetic, and it's going to be disgusting and sad. So it's a critical stretch. And then also we have Colts, Commanders, Colts, Texans. This is, look, if there's a good team in here that can, and I think there still might be, despite the injuries, this could be a 4-0. Is it going to be? I doubt it. I'm saying in this stretch, 3-1. And I'm very optimistic in saying 3-1. I really should be saying 2-2, to be honest with you. But I'm still going to say 3-1 because I still fit in Mike Vrabel. I still fit in John Robinson and this franchise and this mentality and this leadership and this overall group that we have going on here in Nashville, Tennessee. But we still need to see. So I like the stress that's coming up. This is time to, get it started. If we lose, I'm not going to panic. Depends how we lose. I'll come on here, as I always do. And I'll rant, but I'm not going to be freaking out about it if we lose this game. If we lose the game after that, well, then toss it up. Then we're, 1-4, papers are up. Papers are tossed. Throw it up. CJ Stroud, what's going on? Right? But I don't think we have to have that conversation yet. So let's not have that conversation yet. So with that said, if anyone has any comments for me in the chat, at me at SportsFan Entertainment. I'll take a couple of comments and then I will get out of here because I am trying to catch Kentucky against Ole Miss. Oh, man. That's going to be an interesting matchup and some decent college football matchups today and tonight, which is something that I've not been able to say all season. So I'm very, very happy that we're finally having some decently contested college football matchups. Some comments that I want to address. We have Alex M., who says the following. Let me pull up this in my streaming software. Alex M., who says, we're going to lose. Jonathan Taylor is better than Henry. Look, again, it was a whole debate on Twitter, who's better? And I'm like, guys, this is the off season. Y'all must be bored as hell. I mean, no offense. Look, Jonathan Taylor, is he a better receiver? Yeah. If that makes him better to you, sure. We're picking at needles and straws here. It really doesn't matter to me. I don't really care. I mean, I'd love to say we have the best running back in the league. If we're still out of the divisional round in an embarrassing loss of the Cincinnati Bengals, I don't care. That's what I'm worried. I'm worried about the game. I'm not worried about the best running back. We could have the worst quarterback, the worst running back, the worst tight end, the worst offensive line. If we win at the end of the day and we win the Super Bowl, I don't give a damn. Y'all can talk trash. Even the Baltimore Ravens are crying because they have Trent Dilfer, one of the worst quarterbacks to ever win a Super Bowl, and they still won the Super Bowl. I don't think they're crying about that. I think they're all looking at their rings saying, damn, what a ring. So I don't really care what best running back, best. I mean, it's an interesting discussion. I'm not going to get heated. People really got heated about it in the offseason. We got the best. No, we got the best. Who's the better team? First of all, we don't even know that. Let's figure that out. Damn the running backs. Who's the better team? We're going to find out. All right, we move on to other comments. Oh, God. Jay Wood says, at Sports Fan Entertainment, did you see the Antonio Brown video? Look, guys, this is why you don't do, well, he might be suffering from CTE. So let me be very politically correct. I have spent plenty of times drunkenly in pools. It's one of my favorite things. Even with that said, I have never done anything even close to this, nor have I even seen anything close to this. Your boy's wildin'. And he's a grown man. He's in his 30s, right? He has to be in his 30s. I can't explain it. I can't excuse it. It's creepy. Now, what I will say, people are saying this is sexual assault. Now, let me be very, very, very clear here. I don't know the full details. I don't know how he grabbed this woman. I don't know. She left the situation, obviously. Like she moved away from him in the pool. I would assume that he was already nude when she. I don't even want to assume that. Let me not even assume that. But I don't think this is it's definitely creepy and it's definitely sexual like misconduct and like in terms of a legal charge, it's public indecency. It's public indecency. I think that's something you could ever charge him with. Unless if he was just like really holding her and like she just did not even, and I don't know about those details, so I don't know about that. I don't think he was touching her with his, materials. I didn't see that, but his materials were out. That is for sure. So maybe it is sexual assault. It depends how it happened, and maybe it is. I'm just saying from what I saw. But the boy's wilding, and get your boys out here because man, some man can just go crazy, man. And I try to defend men here in the world as best as I can. I'm not an SJW. I'm not a lib, by the way. We're not going down that road. I try to defend men as best as I can, but this was bad, and he's losing his damn mind, man. May God wish him well and hope him the best. All right, we move on to On the Keys Media. Do you think we can get a pass rush this week? I mean, I hope. I mean, that's our hope. If we don't, Matt Ryan, even though he stinks, he can sit back there and win until one of his wide receivers get open. I think he still has that ability. I don't even know, but I think, and that would be a problem for us. So again, Rashad Weaver, I'd like to have a better ratio in terms of plays versus pressure. One of the things that Pro Football Focus has them grading poorly on. But again, he's being thrown into the fire. He wasn't expected to have this role. Now he's having damn near 100% role in terms of this defense, especially when it comes to pass rushing plays. And I think he's going to get a better condition and get his legs continue to be under him. And he's still getting sacks. So I'm not going to complain about Rashad Weaver right now. So I hope he can, and I think we can. So Joe Flores says, and also a related comment, so let me go ahead and tackle both of these. On the Media says, if you lose the next two, is it time for Malik? Joe Flores says, say we do go 1-4 at that stretch, at what point do you make a switch at quarterback, or is it up to how we lose those games? I do think it is up to how we lose those games. I don't believe that 1-4. Okay, well, in that stretch. So let's say this. Let's pull up the schedule specifically when it comes to this. So specifically, we lose to the Colts. Let's say none of these games are in a particular, because here's the thing. I'm assuming this, and this is going to be a bad assumption perhaps, but if it is, we'll deal with it and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I really don't assume we're headed for any sort of dumpster fire in terms of, wow, Ryan Tannehill is really bad. Like all of a sudden, he just can't throw. He's completing under 50% of his throws. He can't complete passes, and he's really bad, and he's seeing ghosts. And I don't foresee that sort of downfall. Like a downfall like that would be a downfall that we saw from even Marcus Mariota did not have that sort of downfall. Marcus Mariota had a downfall of we were 2-4. He wasn't playing particularly. Our offense overall was just struggling. We just scored, what was it, like 7 points against the Bills and then 0 against the Broncos, and we were 2-4, and then we just said, okay, let's just try to spark our offense, and we're just kind of tired of this. I would expect something very similar here. Now, I don't think it's going to be in the form of 7 points and 0 points, but I would assume it's going to be that Tannehill's playing fine, but he's turning the ball over here and there, and we're just kind of over it, and we've seen enough, so let's go ahead and see Malik. So, assuming that's the case, and we're not going to get, in my opinion, hopefully not, blown out by the Colts or the Commanders or the Colts or the Texans. If we get blown out in 2 of those games, then you have to make a switch. If you lose 3 of those 4, And now you're sitting at 2-4, and you're headed to Houston. I still believe Tannehill will be starting that game. I believe. I personally believe that Malik Willis isn't ready. I personally believe if it really comes down to it, this is my honest opinion, if it really boils down to it, what I would honestly, and I'm happy that we took Malik Willis. And if he's, let me be very clear. I'm very happy that we took Malik Willis, 100%, and I want to see what he does. So, throw him in there. But I would not be throwing him in there because I think he gives us a better chance to win. I would be throwing him in there because I want to see what's about to happen. Either A, it sparks the team. It's going to be a fun offense, whatever. B, he performs not particularly well at all, worse than Tannehill, and we lose more games, but we set ourselves up for a draft position. Or C, somewhere in the middle, and I'm annoyed. I'd prefer A or B. I mean, if it's B, I don't mind. Just because, boy, I love me some CJ Stroud and some Bryce Young. I wouldn't mind having that conversation if it boils down to it. We got the draft capital. A lot of teams have been trading first-round picks. We still got first-round picks to trade. We can trade up. Hey, what's going on? Oh, you want to have a little conversation about trading up? So that's why I would do it. Again, I don't think we're going to go there. I think it's going to be middling. I think it's still going to be kind of up and down, frustrating, middling. I have us now. I had us before the season 10-7. I'm not sure if I can still say that. I'd have to say 9-8 with the injuries that we've had. I know that's a little backtracking, but with the injuries we've had, I don't think I continue to say 10-7. I have to say 9-8. I think 9-8 is what I have to say right now. I think I have to say that. And I feel like it's not going to be worse than 8-9 or 7-10 at the very worst, 7-10. And that's not in quarterback position. Well, not in top quarterback position. But you still got Will Levis, who I'm about to turn on. Ooh, I can't wait to turn on this team and watch Kentucky versus Ole Miss. We still have to watch more Will Levis. We still have to watch more of Tyler Van Dyke. We still have to watch more of Anthony Richardson over there in Florida. We still have to see more of some of these quarterbacks before we make good assessments in terms of, positioning and what terms of that. We're going to have conversations about this. Luckily, we're having conversations about this. It's early. I understand that. But I think people are finally understanding that, you know what, this whole Tannehill thing, it's just not, the move. This team is not a Super Bowl team. So you're looking already to next year being like, well, if we add this, and if we add this, and if we move this, okay, well, then now Tannehill's a year older. Is he now going to be ready to do something? Probably not, because he hasn't been. So why would he be next year? I think that people are finally getting on to this. We had our chances. We blew him. He had his chances. He blew them. He was in the playoffs. He had 5 playoff games, didn't perform well in any of them, and that's it. All right. With that said, I'm going to try to pronounce this. Ground break is how you pronounce it. He just has the 0 and the 3 in there. That kind of threw me off. Try to see you make another rock entrance for a post game. I'm trying to, dog. It needs to be the right moment. I can't do it when we're a losing record. We have to at least have a winning record before I do a rock entrance. If it comes, it'll come. All right, Mr. Corey 488 says, what will A.J. Brown's stat line be against us? 250 yards and 5 touchdowns. Well, he's going off and he's pissed. By the way, I don't necessarily know what his comments were about. He was referring to our football team and Mike Vrabel saying, no one has fun over there. It's no fun over there. Yada, yada, yada. Young man, even though he's like a year younger than me. Young man just talking BS. Grow up. Move on. You're in Philly now. Move on. Do we miss him? Yep. But move on, okay? No need to rub it in. Continue to play well. Look, I don't love him, and I think I'm out on A.J. Brown, to be honest, because he's just so damn petty, and I don't like petty people. It's so crazy because we're grown-ass men, and men are still petty. This is ridiculous. I'm 25. I'm about to be 26. People think I'm 18 on here. I'm about to be 26, and I'm like, damn, men are still petty? The hell's going on out here? I thought we're all grown-ass men. But, some people have different mentalities. So, A.J. Brown, he's going to get his, and he's going to game plan, and he's going to let the Eagles know, oh, Tannehill likes this, Tannehill likes that, look out for this. He's going to snitch. So we better get some snitches. And this is the low-key part of the NFL that no one really wants to discuss. There are some snitches and some rats, especially when it comes to facing former teams, former players. They're going to game plan for that. So if you don't think that AJ Brown's gonna walk in to training film sessions and all that and practices and tell them Tannehill likes this, we like to run this, we like to do this, we like to do this, Downing likes this, Derrick Henry likes to run here. If he challenges me, he's gonna do this. You're out of your mind. That Philly game is a L, unless if things rapidly change injury-wise or more for us, that's an L. That's already an L easily. I knew the Eagles were going to be one of the better teams in the NFL. I had this. But, we'll see. And then someone in the chat just said, Ugo Amadi played for the Eagles. He'll be our snitch. There's a difference between Ugo Amadi that kind of played for the Eagles and AJ Brown that was integral to this team. He was integral to this team. He was trusted on this team. He was on the inner circles of this team. He knows what's going on. And he's going to snitch. So that's going to be a problem. And we're going to deal with it when we deal with it. All right. Let's continue. This will be the last one. Ivermectin patient. Happy you took that ivermectin. At Sports Fan Entertainment, what are the chances Todd Downey gets fired? What has to happen for that scenario to happen? Well, percentage that Todd Downey gets fired. So let's have this in terms of a timetable discussion. I don't think he's going to get fired this year unless if the balls really, or if the tires really come off, then it's possible. But by that, I mean like 2-10. Okay. I think if we're even like, I don't know, 4-6. I think he's still there. Now, what might happen is we might change play calling duties from him to Tim Kelly, but I think Vrabel's enough of the head coach to not fire him and just tell him to get out midseason. I think he's firmly in the coach brotherhood in terms of not necessarily doing that. So I don't think he's going to get fired midseason. You might see play calling duties change, but I don't see it firing midseason. In order for him to be fired after the season, I think you'd have to continue to see this offense struggle. I think this team would have to go at least 8-9. I think 8-9 we change coordinators. I think 8-9, Mike Vrabel's like, no, we have to change. And we've done this in the past. Even our team. Like when we had what was it, 2017? No, that doesn't count. Maybe not with this team specifically then. But with other teams, like I've seen teams like just have a mediocre year and then change coordinators. And then we'll have a very extensive offense coordinator conversation if that comes, because I have a lot of candidates out there that I really like. And I think this is something that we yet to consider. While I don't like Mike McDaniel as a head coach, I think he's weird. Like literally, I think his personality is just very odd. And I think he's smart, but I don't think he's an NFL head coach. I just don't. But there are minds that are like that out there. And I want to see what these people are talking about. Matt LaFleur was a guy that I wanted as head coach here in Tennessee. And it's funny because it's very odd what happened here. It's very odd that Matt LaFleur was a guy that I specifically wanted to be the head coach of the Tennessee Titans when we were doing our head coaching search in 2018. I specifically had him number one. Specifically, Matt LaFleur was my number one candidate. We got Mike Vrabel, and then we got Matt LaFleur as offensive coordinator. I said, well, that's the best of both worlds. Okay, I'm down. Matt LaFleur did not even coordinate a good offense here in Tennessee. That 2018 offense was bad. It was our worst offense that we've had in the last 5 years until now. So I don't, and then he got hired by Green Bay. And I told Green Bay, I was like, he didn't coordinate well for us. Maybe he's going to be a head coach for y'all. He's won 13 games. He's won 13 games. He's won 13 games. Now he's failed in the playoffs again and again and again. But I'm like, what the hell happened? So I want to throw another, ring and look at, a young coordinator that's one of these young offensive minds and just see. But Todd Downing, we'll see. I'm already kind of out on him. I'm not totally out. I think he's not great. But we're probably going to move on. He's the scapegoat. Because there's no way Vrabel's going to get fired. Even if you go 3-14, sorry, he's not going to get fired. It's just not going to happen. So forget about that. So Todd Downing is definitely going to be the fall guy. And Shane Bowen, the defense, is playing fine. So he's definitely not going to be the fall guy. It's going to be 100% Todd Downing. So I think if we go 8-9 or worse, he's fired. I think even 9-8, I think it's considered. I think even if we go 9-8 and even win the division, I think it's still considered. I think it's considered. I'm not saying it's going to happen. We have to move a little closer and see how the offense continues to progress. All right. With that said, that's going to do it for me. Yeah, that's going to do it for me. Tennessee Titans versus Indianapolis Colts. This Sunday, I will be live right after the game, as I always am, to give you my thoughts on the game and how we performed, of course. Until next time, this has been Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See y'all later.